Hello everybody, Hulkrex here, and welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere. I think it's episode 307. Alright, today we're going to be talking about the mobile artillery walking piece, the O-Bakemono. I think that's how you pronounce it. Bakemono. Yep. Alright, so what we have here is a artillery piece with a couple legs, brought to you by the Draconis Combine from the Luthien Armor Works. Yep, it's kind of an interesting thing. It's like their version of the Naga, which makes sense. You know, you got a big giant piece of artillery that can walk around and can go through a lot more different types of terrain versus the, say, a mobile artillery piece that's tracked. All right, so there we go. Now, it is 80 tons. It has an XL fusion engine, which isn't really a big deal for this because it's supposed to be a support piece. And to be honest, it's going to be spending most of its time behind the lines, so it shouldn't get shot at for the most part, unless scouts find it. It's 4.6, like I said, no jump jets. It has 10 double heat sinks that come with the engine, which is fine. And then we have 224 points of armor, 14 tons, which is okay considering the type of equipment it is. It doesn't necessarily need a lot of armor, unless some counter battery fire hits it or something of that nature. Now, weapon systems. We have in the left arm, left torso, we have an Arrow 4 system. In the right torso, right arm, we have an Arrow 4 system. We have 3 tons of ammo in the left torso, 3 tons of ammo in the right torso. We have a small laser in the head. And then we have in the medium, 2 medium lasers in the center torso, and it comes with case. Yep, in case it gets hit in the torso and the ammo goes up. Which, yeah, okay. At least they thought about case. So it only blows half the mech apart. Well, okay, we don't have to worry about fixing the entire mech. We just have to replace the torso and part of the engine assembly. Okay, so there you go. That is your basic weapon system. Artillery is very useful, especially mobile artillery. Let me tell you, the quickest way you want, say you have a group of battle infantry rolling in your direction, like say clan infantry, like battle armor. You hit them with an Arrow 4 system and drop it right on top of them. Yeah, scratch. They're toast. That makes it very useful. Now, it's arrow systems I always find that work good against like stationary targets, slow moving targets that you don't have to lead them as much, you know, because with you got to basically pick a point and then you fire. It depends on how far back you are from where the firing point to the target point. You know, number of hexes, inches, map boards, basically, because arrow systems are ranged in map hexes, or not map hexes, but hap. Can't even say it. Map boards. There you go. Got that out. Woo. A wee bit confusing. All right, so that's kind of like how you're going to be using it. So you, if you have a piece, let's say a defensive position where they got, say, a big giant turret that doesn't have anything but, let's say, LRMs, you know, like, okay, we're going to target it, call in the rocket artillery, and just pound it into submission without ever having to get close and worry about counter battery fire, unless they have artillery like a Long Tom or a Thumper or something of that nature. And if they may even have possibly arrow systems on board themselves, which could, but the nice thing about a mech like this with artillery, it can move and fire. it's like I'm going to keep constantly displaced. The best way to keep, you know, even from the World War II, is that the best way to keep your artillery from being blasted off the face of the earth is move it. Counter battery fire will target where the fire, they can pretty much target, say, hey, I know it's coming from this general vicinity, and I just fire over there with our counter battery. But if you move, you can't get hit. So that's the wonderful thing about something like this. And like I said, this mech having XL engines, to me, is not a detriment to it. So it's an actual bonus, because then you actually got something that can move a little bit faster, carry a little bit more, and you're not going to have it behind them. Up on front of the lines, like using it as direct fire support. You're going to be using it as, well, you could use it direct fire support, but you could fire from a couple map back. Like, hey, I'm going to be 36, 40 away. All right, one turn delay. Okay, that's fine. That type of thing. So that's how useful I find something like this with Arrow 4 systems. Now, let me check real quick. Not very often I use these guys. It does have heat. Yeah, it's like, okay. Here's the only problem is that if you constantly, now if you're stationary, it's not a problem, because the heat, each Arrow 4 system creates 10 heat. That's just wanted to verify. I thought it was, but the time you start creating heat is when you're firing and displacing. So if you're walking, fire, walk, you can do that for 4 turns before you start building up enough heat to cause any problems to you. Now, if you're running, you can do that for 2 turns and fire. But why would you do that? Because most likely they're not even knowing where you're coming from. If they do even see you on the board, it's like it's going to take them forever to get back to you with their scouts or fast-moving mechs. And by that time, it's like you're probably going to have a bodyguard for this mech to keep, it's up close weapon systems. You got 2 medium lasers. It's kind of like there to let you know that, we're here to let you know that we can do a little plinky damage to you. But there's that. Okay. So, most likely you're going to relegate 1 mech as a bodyguard for, if necessary, depending on what you're facing off with. Now, if you're facing off against a lot of slow-moving, like, say, heavies and assaults, you probably won't worry about it too much. Because a mech like this, it's a 4-6, could probably get away if necessary. All right? Or backpedal or whatever. However you want it to do it. So there's that. Now, but most likely you're going to be parking it on a hilltop someplace, overlooking the valley, and say, you get a little bit of love, you get a little bit of love, you get a little bit of love. And so they start dropping rounds everywhere. And when you're dropping 2, and you can do this for 15 turns, that's a lot of firepower. Now, you may want to take in some specialty ammo or something, possibly if you want, but if you just go on basic area effect weapon system, hey, it still works good. And if you find those slow-moving targets, just keep dropping by it. Yeah, you're doing 20 points in 5-point shot groups, but it adds up. Especially if you're hitting infantry. Infantry disappear badly. All right, so there are a couple other variants of this mech, which are kind of interesting in some ways. We have the Mark 11. See, the one we've been talking about is the Mark 10. Now we got the Mark 11. This is a field modification for repairing it during the jihad, when obviously you're taking losses and damages or running out of ammo. So what they did was they downgraded the engine to a standard. Okay, it's no longer the XL. You guys still got a 240, not an XL anymore. Or no, it's a 3. Sorry, I'm just like not doing the math in my head. It's now a 3.5. So they downgraded the speed a bit. But that allows them still carry some equipment on board, which they got rid of the 2 Arrow 4 systems and replaced both of them directly with an MRM 40s. Well, MRMs are great if you hit, and each one of them carries 4 tons of ammunition, so it has a almost a lifetime supply of MRM 40 ammunition, which isn't too bad. It has 14 double heat sinks, has a C3 slave. All right, and it comes in about 1,800 battle value. Now, the standard Mark 10 is about 16.5 when it comes to battle value. So it's a little more expensive. It's more durable because you no longer have that XL. But hey, with the C3 slave, you're going to have a master in the network, and you most likely will have a fast-moving eyes and ear type mech for you that's going to get out there and get close for the MRMs to be shooting at short range equivalent for you. So you have that, which isn't overly a big problem, because typically if you're setting up an arrow system or not an arrow, but heck, you could even downgrade the armor by half a ton and replace that small laser with a C3 slave. That would help your artillery a little bit too. All right, so let me see here. MRMs, they have let's see, range of 15. Yeah, that's what I thought. So they're kind of short range, so you definitely will be wanting to have some eyes and ears out there for you to at least be able to get a better firing solution for you. All right, so you got that. But when they do hit, man, they hit like a ton of bricks. So you want something to allow you to connect, which is a C3 system. But when they do connect, ouch. It's like I've seen mechs get hit by like 2 or 3 MRM 40s, and they're just like getting smacked down hard. That's a lot of damage. It's scattered around a bit, but you scraped all the armor off, then you got some other mechs running around with it's more direct fire weapons like PPCs and large lasers, etc. Just like, yeah, the armor's gone pretty quickly in a lot of areas. And they're getting hit with crits, and then possibly getting hit with ammo explosions if they have carrying any type of ammo. So there's that. So yeah, it's not a bad design, the Mark 11. All right, so then we come up with the Mark 12. This one is basically a Mark 11. So everything you have on the Mark 11 is now on the Mark 12, but except for a few things. It removes 2 heat sinks, 2 tons of ammunition, and it also replaces the C3 slave with a C3 master. And this comes in a little over 1,700 battle value. And the nice thing is, now you have a mech that can command and control your C3 system. So now you have your ability to hit with your MRMs when they get within range. So there is that. And so you're going to have a master, probably 2. You're going to have a Mark 12 running in the Lance, 2 Mark 11s, and then you're probably going to have some type of fast-moving, well-armed eyes and ears out in front of you with a slave on board to help out with your hitting. And this will be like kind of a support lance. Now you're going to have probably another lance of something else that's going to attract attention, and these guys will be running around the periphery on the edges, taking bites out of you. And to be honest, you probably will have these guys fire first. It's like get the best firing solution, fire first, do as much damage as you can with them, and then you move on to your other direct fire weapon systems that you may have in your other mechs. That's in the other lance. So, and your eyes and ear mech. So that's pretty much how I'd look at these guys. Kind of useful, I would say. Gets the job done. All right. So I hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Elcrex out.